There is no Christianity without the cross, and there is no cross without Jesus Christ, says Pope Francis. September 14 is a special day as we celebrate the Feast of Holy Cross. This feast recalls three historical events: the finding of the true cross by Saint Helena, the mother of the Emperor Constantine, the dedication of churches built by Constantine on the site of the Holy Sepulchre and Mount Calvary, and the restoration of the true cross to Jerusalem by the Emperor Heraclius II. But the meaning of the cross is deeper than any city, any celebration, any building. The cross is a sign of suffering, a sign of human cruelty at its worst. But by Christ's love shown in the Paschal mystery, it has become the sign of triumph and victory, the sign of God who is love itself. The Congregation of the Sisters of the Cross of Chavanod is an apostolic religious institute which is international and of pontifical right. Presently, there are 1,387 sisters of 12 nationalities on 4 continents from 15 countries, namely France, Switzerland, India, Sri Lanka, Congo, Tanzania, Nepal, Holy Land, Cameroon, Peru, Colombia, Kenya, United States, Ecuador, and Uganda. The vision of the Sisters of the Cross of Chavanod is to make the good God known and loved. Fortified by the passion of the Christ, we are called to reveal the merciful love of the Father and the liberating power of the Paschal mystery by our simple, joyous, and evangelical life in different environments goes their mission. The Congregation of the Sisters of the Cross was born at Chavanod, a small village of Savoy, in the southeast of France in 1838. The situation created by the French Revolution and the industrialization of Europe affected very much the socio-economic and political conditions of France and especially the region of Savoy. At this time, there lived at Chavanod in the service of the presbytery a pious, energetic, and devoted person, Claudine Echenier. She was a native of Feteny, a small village in Chablois, and she belonged to an extremely poor family. She lost her mother at the age of 15, and she took the responsibilities of the family, raising her younger brothers and sisters. She could leave her home only at 27. Father Peter Mermier, a zealous priest and founder of the Missionaries of St. Francis de Sales, was deeply moved by the poverty and illiteracy that prevailed among the poor in the society, and he sought for ways and means to remedy the situation. He envisaged the founding of a new type of religious congregation which would enable poor young women to live a consecrated life in the midst of the world. He met Claudine Echenier during the mission he preached at Chavanod in 1838. Animated by the fervor she communicated, some girls who approached her every Sunday yearned to dedicate themselves totally to God and to the service of His people. A dream takes shape. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its flavor, with which shall it be salted? Matthew 5:13. Likewise, a mother wanted to be salt for the community. Enlightened by the Holy Spirit and the support rendered by Father Mermier, Mother Claudine founded the congregation of a new type which was born in extreme poverty and great simplicity. It permitted, in fact, poor young women to live a consecrated life in the midst of the world, either continuing their work at home or at their masters, or living together in community. They could thus help one another in their work, be witnesses of the gospel in their milieu, and be educators of the poorest. By their services and life example, these sisters set the tone in their parishes and helped others to come out of their condition of ignorance and poverty. At the time of the death of our mother Claudine Echenier in 1869, there were already 300 sisters in the congregation. While venerating Saint Francis de Sales and drawing inspiration from his example, Father Mermier, the founder, also took Saint Ignatius of Loyola for his guide. He used quite extensively his spiritual exercises. The Sisters of the Cross were formed by this rigorous and dynamic pedagogy. The Sisters of the Cross live at the confluence of a double spiritual heritage, Ignatian spirituality and Salesian spirituality. With a vision of spreading the good news to the unknown, the first congregation was found in France in 1838. The Sisters of the Cross lived together in international communities, sharing the richness of various cultures and getting involved in the concerns of the people in different nations. Cross is her book, cross is her glory. These are the words inscribed on the tomb of our mother, Claudine. Following her footsteps, our dear sisters maintain a cordial and fraternal relationship with former pupils, friends, benefactors, and family members as a source of mutual enrichment. Education. Following the footsteps of Christ and Mother Claudine, the sisters impart basic education, skills, and faith formation among the children and the youth. In France and Switzerland, our sisters share in the mission of non-formal education by teaching French language to foreigners and to poor migrants. And they give tuition for those who have difficulties at school. They help the underprivileged, abandoned children from very poor families. They run schools besides running preschools and boarding for the destitute children. In Uganda, they run a senior secondary school at Lubero, wherein most of the children are orphans and are affected by HIV. The sisters in the provinces of Pune, Trichy, Madurai, Kolkata, Guwahati, Kerala, and Amravati run schools for the mentally and the physically challenged children and also for the hearing impaired. They also run daycare centers for the mentally challenged. In Geneva, at Foyer Lequenil, many young girls seek a residence to pursue either their university studies or their professional formation in institutes or in international organizations. At Chavanod, our sisters run a spirituality and cultural center called Les Maisons du Grand Pré, in close collaboration with the lay people, aiming at accompanying people in search of meaning in life, and those who aspire to human and spiritual growth. It equally aims at promoting openness to diverse cultures and traditions, thus creating space for conversation relating to the questions posed by the changing world. The sisters offer classical dance classes in view of proposing the Indian classical dance in the European context. both as a dialogue between cultures and also to show the sacred space of human body in the realm of spirituality. Our sisters also run adoption centers, home for street children, home for the aged and destitute women, chaplaincy at hospitals, home for the retired and convalescing priests. They also run rehabilitation centers for alcoholism and drug addiction, offering help through medication, counseling, love, acceptance, prayer. They also organize a 3-week follow-up session and awareness programs in the center. They conduct classes on hygiene and preventive health care, running counseling and therapeutic centers for HIV/AIDS patients, and conducting awareness programs for them, caring for the residents and those convalescing through hospitality and availability. The home for the aged and the destitute also run by the sisters. Needlework and tailoring units for the battered women and destitute women are also among them. The social apostolic activities of our sisters are as follows: helping the homeless, pastoral care of migrants and those without stay permit, visiting and accompanying the sick and the elderly dependent persons, including our senior sisters and lay people in clinics, hospitals, homes. Gospel sharing with the friends and the sisters of the cross, the lay associates and jeune professionals, the youth who begin a career in life. In Congo, our sisters conduct awareness camps on AIDS. In Holy Land, our sisters host pilgrims and render humble service in Bethlehem and Jerusalem. They strive hard to promote peace and reconciliation among the Arab Christians, serving at the hospice for the elderly and taking care of the aged. Running our own pilgrim house, collaborating with Franciscan fathers at Ain Karim, the birthplace of John the Baptist, in welcoming the pilgrims and participating in the activities of the church. Under health ministry, our revered sisters offer holistic health through health education, chiefly to mothers and children. They conduct medical camps and mass health awareness programs, build sanitary latrines with the help of donors, train local health promoters, run mobile clinics, dispensaries, hospitals and nursing schools, offering palliative care, alternative medicine, chiefly homeopathy, herbal medicines and magnetotherapy, serve as nursing auxiliary, serve and care for the senior sisters at EHPAD, that is a convalescent home. Thus, the vision of our beloved Mother Claudine has come true and successful by our revered sisters. We adore your cross, O Lord, and we praise and glorify your glory resurrection. This is a small dedication to the service you render to the humanity, dear sisters. Once again, we wish you all a happy feast. Thank you.